Well, I'm in a brother pen. Just look at these birds. Look at them. They are 7 weeks, 350 grams. What do you think about their weight? What do you think about the spacing? Is this okay? Don't you think this spacing is a No, I think the space is too much. I think the space is too much. If we do at 80 per week, so our target should be 500 and they are 350. So they are behind. And one of the contributory factors could be the space, I think.
I've always done it this way and I've always met my target weight.
There is what we say, every day for the thief. One day for the owner. The fact that you've been doing it and you have been meeting that standard, it's very possible that you've been spending more of it. You are losing some weight. The FCR and co might not be what it should be. So the fact that you've been doing it doesn't mean.
The uniformity, there are some that's.
The
uniformity and
they are not uniform, Abi. If they are not uniform, I must select one. Torio ma for trouble, it will cause trouble later. Well, there was a farm I went to. They did not start laying till around 20 weeks, but in 4 weeks they hit 80%. That's uniformity for you. If they are not uniform, it's a problem. That is when you will see that it's taking like 8 weeks, or it's almost 10 weeks. Cut it to the 70% and co. Like they were so happy because they were getting 10. I think they were 2005 birds, so they were getting increment of 8 per day. They didn't really come to lay, but I kept telling them that don't do any multivitamin because we will be dealing with prolapse later. That's why they should just leave them. That is likely they are heavy breeds of birds. So
black or brown birds?
They are brown, honestly, brown. But when they started laying, they shut up. Okay. I am back from the field, and of course I picked up carcass and we've opened it up. You know, that farmer had a lot of diagnoses from the sick bay. I could see paralysis. I could see some pullets bending their neck, and he also said they were stripping. In fact, they were on coccidiosis medication at the moment. So it had so much diagnosis. It was so sure, it was cocksure that they had Newcastle disease manifestations. Why did he think so? He said it was supposed to, from the vaccination schedule. I'll come back to explain what a vaccination schedule is. From the vaccination schedule, we were supposed to give Komarov last week, but it wasn't available. It was out of town, so he felt that was why they came down. So, on my PM table, I'm shooting this video the same day. You see, I'm still wearing the same cloth, just from my PM, without even taking it to the lab. Of course, when I streak, we will get opportunistic bacteria, and of course, we will get antibiotics to use. But from the PM table, I know his problem is on antibiotics, because I was saying striking gumboro lesions, gumboro infections, bursa, disease, yeah. And with that, it's just coming. It's coming up. It's not yet. Even the lesions are not yet that prominent. It takes so much experience to pick it now. So it's not Newcastle disease. It's maybe it might have They might have seen cocci, of course, the immune system will be down, and of course, several things will be creeping and creeping in. But on the PM table, our tentative diagnosis is Gumboro. So we'll just tell the farmer what to do. So let's come back to that vaccination schedule I talked about. And let's now bring it back to brooding, rearing your birds right. There are several factors to look out for. Number one, the spacing. As far as we're concerned, all we need those birds to do for us is drink, eat, poop, and convert for us. Convert those food for us. And the FCR rate should not be too high. Well, in the description, I'm going to put the standard acceptable FCR rates. And now let's come to spacing. I know most farmers, because I happen to do interview for a couple of experienced farmers, and when I asked that, what is your spacing like, most of them just told me that when I look at it, they didn't have the figure that, okay, to so amount of birds, we need so amount of space, you know. So we could also use our eyes to gauge, but from the video, it's obvious that the space is so much. In the description again, I would put the standard. This thing, if you train yourself, you will know it. You will know it. You will know how to measure this thing. And the farmer was saying that since he started rearing, this is how he has been rearing. And I told him that it's a case of every day for the Diff, 1 day for the owner. Because at 7, is it 7 or 6 weeks? Yes, at 7 weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks. We shouldn't be getting 350 grams. We shouldn't be getting that at all. It's too low. So definitely those birds are burning too much energy moving about. So we want to minimize the space so that our FCR rates will be very, very minimal. So we will spend less and achieve more. Then he also complained that the uniformity is very, very poor. And I advise that, okay, you should just segment them. Flush feed the ones that are very, very, very small. Now, what will happen if it doesn't fix that now? It will happen when they begin to lay. We will have an instance where we got first egg today, and in the next 1 week, 2 weeks, we still keep saying one egg, or better still 2, increasing in very ridiculous amount. But when you have a uniform width, as in a uniform size, there will be a geometric progression where the birds can reach their peak in 4 weeks, 5 weeks. I'm not exaggerating, it's what I've seen. Maybe less, but I'm talking based on a recent experience and co. So before I end this video, let me just admonish you. Let's talk about this vaccine regimen or vaccine table I referred to. Let's talk about it. I've noticed with most farmers, when they get birds from hatcheries, they just follow the hatcheries program verbatim. I don't know why we're in a country where things don't work. Normally from the hatchery, they should have a system where they check what we call the titers, the maternal antibody titers in these chicks in batches, so that they can use it. Okay, maybe they can decide to use it for perhaps 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and in another with that particular batch of parent stock, birds from that source should be screened again. But no, you discover that even from the photocopy, you say that this has been done like 10 or 15 years ago. It doesn't work like that. If you know the basics of immunology, you know the basics of antigen and antibodies reaction, you would know that you shouldn't be using what was given to you from the hatchery. So now there's screening. We have framed it DOC, day old chick. Yeah, so new birds, when they come, we get their blood samples. We're going to test the serum to monitor the titer values, maternal titers, antibodies titers. Yes, so I'll give you an example, a case scenario. Parent stock that had been vaccinated like 3-4 weeks ago, yeah, By the time we are checking the likes of IBD titers, that's Gumboro, by the time we are checking the titers of such, it could still be very high. The titers could still be very high because 4 weeks from then, if it was a killed vaccine, the titers has just begin to the antibody titers are just begin to increase. Yeah, to seroconvert. Let me use that. I don't want to go into all our medical terms. I'm trying to put it in layman terms. Sorry. So now, birds like that might have very high antibody titers. Now, when you pick a bird like that and you pick a vaccine schedule of like 10 years ago, it doesn't even have to be 10 years ago. A vaccine schedule done for a bird that had been vaccinated like 8 weeks ago or 12 weeks ago, definitely the titers, the maternal antibody titers would have reduced. You pick that kind of titer and use it to vaccinate those birds. You now say, oh doctor, but I gave Gumboro vaccine. You gave Gumboro vaccine and they came down with IBD symptoms. Do you know what happened? Because the titers, the maternal antibody titers are still high, and you introduced perhaps a live virus, what it would do is they are going to react together. Those maternal antibody titers that are waiting as soldiers are going to attack those antigen you introduce as vaccine. They are going to attack themselves and neutralize each other, which means that they will be left naked. As in, they will be left naked. That is what it means. And what will happen is that they will come down because they are open, especially if it's a farm that had been exposed to Gumboro outbreak before. Same goes for Newcastle disease and other diseases we check like that. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that please just calculate how much you bought those birds. Just calculate how much you bought. Let's say you bought 1,000. Let's say you bought 1,000 pullets at, I don't know the present rate. Let's say you bought it at 400, so that's about 400,000. And all it takes, all we need from you, it's depending on the population. But I know we pick minimum of 10 live birds and just a stipend for the test. I know that whatever you're going to spend, I spoke with a doctor today. He has a vet store. He said when he saw a case of Gumboro, he just told the farmer that, see, before I start, just know you're going to lose minimum of 1,000 birds. And I'm like, what? I said, why was he cocksure? He said, well, because they have known him now and he's going to intervene. So that is why I put it at minimum, though it could go higher. An experienced farmer should know the mortality rate of Gumboro. It might wipe the birds 50, 60, 70%. So imagine just with the calculation, what is 70% of 1,000? That's 700 birds. 700 birds times 400. Just imagine the money you're going to lose. Not just the money, the efforts, the potential value it will give you, and what else? The feed, everything you spent on it, the input. So the long and short of what I am trying to explain about this vaccine schedule is please, when you get your birds, look for a lab that know what they are doing and go and run what we call serum monitoring, or better still, we at Animal Care target day-old chick screening. So I think now we've spoken about spacing, we've spoken about weight. So every week you have to check your weight. Why do you have to check your weight? The weight of the birds, so you will know if you are going on the right track or you need to fix some things. Yeah, like if you see your weight it's below, there's a standard. If you feel the weight is going below what it should be, then you know you need to flush feed some. Then if you think it's higher than what it should be, you know you need to cut down. You understand? So we won't have issues of excess fat, which might lead to prolapse. So I think, let me put a cap on it. I guess you understand what I'm trying to say. I am Dr. Margaret Ololabi, a veterinary diagnostician with Animal Care Consult Lab, Laboratory, Technical Laboratory, Lagos branch. We have branches all over, and in the description we're going to put the contact of our doctors, so you could just contact anybody close to where you are, so that you can enjoy our premium services. Okay, thank you.